Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the We All Juggle Knives channel. Alright, so that folding knife you see there is the Roxon Phantasy folder. Priced around $16 right now. I've already done a full review of that. I'll include a link to that video. But there are 3 new blades available for this folder. This folder has an exchangeable blade system. You can swap blades in and out. Now that multi-tool you see there is the Roxon Phantom multi-tool. That also has the exchangeable blade system, so all those blades can fit either the knife or that multi-tool. So what are the new blades? Well, we've got what they call the Sheepsfoot, the utility knife blade, and the clip point blade. I am going to cut a few things with these, but first, let's just review how that exchangeable blade system works. You unlock those 2 switches, remove the handle scale, you remove the blade, take your whatever blade you want to put on, thread it onto the pivot, and just replace the handle scale and move those switches to the locked positions. All right, and then once it's, just check to make sure it's all lined up properly, that it closes, that it opens, that it locks up, which it does. It's a liner lock. It's a very good system, very easy. I have seen other attempts at such a system with like ratchet mechanisms and so forth that were a lot more cumbersome. All right, we're going to cut things. All right, first up we have the utility knife blade against some pieces of boxes. To me, this utility knife blade is the most important one for this system. I think it's one of the best things you can put on that multi-tool because, most of you already carry a separate pocket knife, so you don't really need a conventional knife blade on your multi-tool. But it would be good to have your utility knife blade on your multi-tool, then you don't have to carry a separate utility knife. Alright, so that made short work of that. This is just for fun. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's such a thin blade, it's so screaming sharp that it can do that. Alright, here is the Sheepsfoot. We're going to cut some nylon strap material. Normally I'd use a serrated blade for that, but it worked well. Alright, here it is, just food prep. Peeling an apple on your hiking trip. And sorry for any background noise. The guy down the street was grinding some metal in his garage. And I'm not sure what he's grinding because he's been grinding it like every weekend for months now. But I'm sure there's always all kinds of work going on in my neighborhood. It's a working class area. All right, there's your apple. Here is the pencil sharpening test. If you had to sharpen a pencil or just make a pointy stake for some reason. I sped this footage up a little. Now the thing about the Roxon Phantasy folding knife, I mean, it's around $16 right now and it's on Prime. That is such a good deal. Jeez, I have budget folders that are, $25, $30, and they don't even have that blade exchange system. I mean, the whole blade exchange system, that's just a bonus. Now, extra blades are about $6 or $7, which is reasonable, pretty reasonable. All right, there I am making a notch. Now, the steel on the Sheepsfoot blade is 8CR17 MOV. All right, and the clip point is also 8CR17 MOV. All right, so there was that. Now, here it is on some rubber bike tire tubing. Does well. Now, the utility knife blade is SK5 carbon steel. All right, so did well on that. You could make some Ranger bands. All right, next up we've got the clip point blade. Going to cut some paracord. Now notice how sharp this thing is. You see it's just like goes through it like butter, no effort, just a flick of the wrist. So yeah, this came pretty sharp, definitely. Yeah, so I really like the pricing on that Phantasy knife. And then the fact that you can also fit these blades on that multi-tool. It's just, it's a good system. All right, I'm going to show how sharp the belly of the knife is by pushing it through there. All right, so there it is on the nylon strap material. Now, I would not use this knife or this blade as a rescue knife simply because it's pointed. But this is just for demonstration purposes only. That's what I had around. All right, and before I used it for anything when I first got it, here it is on the paper. Yeah, it was screaming sharp. Now you might be wondering, how do you carry the blades safely in your pocket? Well, you see that stack of plastic next to the multi-tool? Those are the blade carriers, the blade guards that these come with. They're very flat, they are magnetic, so they stay together with one another, and they allow you to carry the blade safely. If you want to see those closer up or demonstrated, just check out my original review of the Phantasy folder. Alright, final thoughts on this. Well, definitely liking the utility blade, the ability to put a utility knife blade on your multi-tool. I've been waiting for that for ages, so that is a must-have for me. My second favorite blade currently is the fully serrated blade, because they have done the serrations so well. If you watch the original review, they were very sharp. I was surprised. It's hard to get serrations right. So I normally carry a plain-edged blade, right? So the ability to carry a fully serrated blade and a utility knife blade either on a multi-tool or on an inexpensive beater folder like this, that complements the normal plain edge that I carry every day very well. So that's why I like those. Most people will probably eventually buy all the blades if they have this knife and or multi-tool, simply because if you're like me, even if you don't use some of these very frequently, you want the option that if you ever had to or wanted to, you want that option there. And at only $6 or $7 per blade, I mean, why not? Basically, it's kind of like you have one knife, but you really can have like 7 or 8 different knives in one. Well, alright YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this video. In the text description box, I will include the links where you can purchase these items on Prime. I will also include links to the review of the folder, the overview of the multi-tool, and my full review of the other Roxon multi-tool, the Roxon Flash, which has a fire starter built into it. So check those out, and also just check out the other Amazon links that I will include. Those do help support the channel, and I really appreciate all who use them. Alright, if you like videos like this where a person tells you about the item and demonstrates it as well, feel free to subscribe. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.